What is good, everybody? Welcome back to another episode brought to you by the League FFB. Today, we are going to be talking about 3 running back values in Dynasty, Redraft, Keeper, even Best Ball. Really, whatever type of league you play in, I think the value on these 3 running backs is worth the squeeze for the 2023 season. So let's not waste any time. Let's hop right into it and let's talk about the first guy. Now, that guy is going to be Joe Mixon, running back for the Cincinnati Bengals. And Joe Mixon is currently being drafted as running back 15 on Underdog Fantasy right now. He finished as a top 7 running back in fantasy points per game in 2022. So when we're looking at Joe Mixon and we look back at the 2022 season, you will see a few things that stand out to me as far as the opportunity goes. Mixon was a top 10 running back in snap share, number 7 overall in opportunity share, number 7 in targets, and number 6 in red zone opportunities. Now, the reason why the opportunity stands out to me with Joe Mixon is he plays for a fast-paced Cincinnati Bengals offense, and that offense just lost Samaje Perine, who was playing on third downs in 2022. So now with Samaje Perine out of the mix, I expect Joe Mixon to play a little bit more on third downs, and I'm actually expecting his opportunity to increase in 2023. Now, I will hear the arguments about the longevity of Joe Mixon, but for this season, I think he is a hell of a value for your fantasy football teams. And like I said, coming off of the board as running back 15, it is hard to find guys with this much opportunity being drafted this late in fantasy football. Now, I do expect the Bengals offensive line to be slightly improved in 2023. And because of the opportunity and the improved offensive line, I think top 10 is a very likely scenario for Joe Mixon. I think there's a real chance that we could see 60 plus receptions and 1,000 rushing yards for Joe Mixon in 2023. Now, the second running back that I want to talk about is going to be Miles Sanders, the new running back for the Carolina Panthers, currently being drafted as running back 20 on Underdog Fantasy. And Sanders is coming off of the best season of his career thus far and has now signed a 4-year deal with the Carolina Panthers that really is a 2-year deal, but Sanders should see a ton of volume at least through the first 2 years of this contract with Carolina. Now, obviously, we can't look at the opportunity from 2022 for Miles Sanders because he did change situations, but what we can look at is the productivity. Miles Sanders was a top 5 running back as far as rushing yardage goes, and he was a top 10 running back in total touchdowns. Now, obviously, the reception numbers and the receiving yards do not look good for Miles Sanders last season, but I do expect this to change. Carolina has a very solid up-and-coming offensive line, and head coach Frank Reich has already talked about using Miles Sanders on third down and in the receiving game in 2023. Hopefully, this vote of confidence from Frank Reich does mean that we will see an uptick to potentially unlocking Miles Sanders in the receiving game, and I do think it is in the range of outcomes that we could see him double his receiving numbers from 2022 to 2023. However, I do think we do see a small regression in touchdowns, not significantly, but we know that the Carolina Panthers are not as efficient as the Philadelphia Eagles, who did go to a Super Bowl last year. But with all of these variables being put into consideration, I think 1,200 rushing yards, double the receptions, and a little less touchdowns, Miles Sanders will still finish as a high to mid-range running back 2 for your rosters in 2023. And like I said, he's being drafted as running back 20, so you will get a value on Miles Sanders. Now, my third and final running back that I'm going to be talking about is going to be James Conner, running back for the Arizona Cardinals. And Conner is being drafted as running back 26 on Underdog Drafts this season. And James Conner was a top 9 fantasy football running back as far as fantasy points per games go in 2022. And a lot of this is because of the opportunity that James Conner saw last year. Now, as we can see here, top 10 in snap share and in opportunity share, and top 12 in targets. James Conner was used a lot in 2022, and I expect him to be used even more in 2023. This Arizona Cardinals offense is going to have to lean on James Conner as Kyler Murray recovers from an ACL tear that he suffered last season. James Conner is going to be a huge part of the offense, at least early on in 2023. And we also need to remember that the Arizona Cardinals spent a very high first-round draft pick on an offensive tackle, Paris Johnson Jr., who is going to help them out in the run and in the pass game as well. When it comes to what I'm expecting out of James Conner in 2023, I think 1,000 yards and double-digit touchdowns is definitely in the range of outcomes, and I think he will be a very solid running back 2 for your fantasy football rosters. Now, that is all I have for you guys today. If you did enjoy the video, please make sure that you leave a like, subscribe, and comment in the comment section below. And also, if you have not joined our Discord, go join our Discord right now. We are giving away a free signed NFL jersey mystery box at the end of this month. All you have to do to enter this giveaway is be a member of our Discord, which is free to join, and be subscribed to this YouTube channel. After you do those 2 things, just click participate and you'll be entered to win. And I don't have anything else for you guys today. I will see you guys on the next video. Peace out.